Hey piano players, Chris here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the use of both paper and digital sheet music. For some church piano players like myself, I have a selection of paper sheet music that I can easily grab, but this is also stored on a computer in digital PDF format so I can reprint or modify the music if I need to. I'm actually in the process myself of transferring to using an iPad for my music folder instead of a physical folder, as I've seen there are many benefits to doing this. So if you always have played from paper format music and you don't plan on changing that, that's all good. And there's no need to consider digital or using an iPad, so feel free to skip past this video. However, if you want to find out more about this, or if you've been considering using a tablet device of some sort, then keep watching. Okay, then let's just talk about some of the pros and cons of paper versus digital sheet music. And when I say digital, I don't just mean PDFs, as many people like myself use paper format music stored as PDFs on a computer. When I use the term digital within this video, I'm meaning the use of digital music on a digital device like an iPad or tablet of some sort. That's what you're actually going to be reading it from. So what are some of the pros and cons of paper music then? The pros would be it's quick to access, only if it's organized well, of course. It's easy to write on to make changes. It won't turn off mid-song. If you use a hymnal or songbook, it's all in one place. And this is for more traditional music where only hymnals are used, but it can also apply to collections of music like hymns of grace that I mentioned in an earlier video. It's easier to give copies to other musicians if you play in a group, because not all group members will have digital devices. Some of the cons then, it's not quick to access if you don't have it with you. It takes up a lot of space to store and transport, particularly if you have a large collection of music. It takes more time to select and organize than digital music, finding the songs, placing them in a folder, things like that. If you lose your folder, you lose your music, like if you left it in your porch at home but only realized when you got to church. Let's look at some of the pros then of digital music stored on a digital device. It's accessible, not just on that device, but any device, especially if you have cloud storage. Depending on your software and music format, you can quickly change keys and layouts of the music. It's easy to write on to make changes if you have a digital pen. There's no storage limitation. It takes up less space. It's quicker to organize set lists. And if you have the right software, your whole music team can follow the music with one person controlling the page turns. It's clearer to read in low light and for people with bad vision. You can also make the music larger if required, and you can do this with paper, but it's more work. Page turns are smoother because you tap instead of turn, and you can also do this with a foot switch if you want to. Some of the cons then of using digital music on a digital device: it could malfunction mid-song, though it's very unlikely. If it stops working, you have no access to music. Unless you're familiar with the device, you might push the wrong button and lose your sheet of music. And there's limited screen space, unless you're buying a larger tablet, which is more expensive. So there's some pros and cons for you then on each option, and I hope that helps you with any decision you're making, and you can also do your own research, of course. I know that I've only just begun to explore the different digital and software options out there, and there's a lot. So when I find something that looks super helpful, I'll definitely let the 20-day Church Piano Player students know about it. As I said in an earlier video, I'm using Fourscore to store and read my music from on my iPad, and it has lots of great functions. I'll put a link again below so that you can check that out if you want to. There's also an amazing app called OnSong, which I'll put a link below to also. I've only used it a little, but with this you have the option of changing keys, using foot switches to control the page turns, and lots of syncing options when you're playing with other musicians. And there's even a function to sync lyric videos too. So you may want to spend some time looking at that also. Both Fourscore and OnSong need to be purchased, but you can check out the latest prices by going to the links below. Okay then, so that's all for this video on paper and digital music. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.